Welcome to my channel Living Linux. In my previous video I did the unboxing of the SpacemiT MUSE Pi Pro, and in this video I'm going to do the software review. So here you can see some more information. So we have 8 RISC-V cores, the PowerVR BXE232 GPU, but we don't have a fully working GPU driver, unfortunately. And I'm running Bianbu Star 2.1 with the 6.6.63 kernel. So, as I said, we have the PowerVR BXE232, and it does have support for OpenCL. And here you can see some of the numbers. And I ran this up front because it takes quite some time to get all these numbers. And as you can see, no double precision support, unfortunately. So one of the other benchmarks is GLMark2 for embedded systems. So it will draw some objects and it will turn them around. And well, just as an example, I can show you just the first ones. And we get a GLMark2 score of 430. So probably you've seen this before. So this is a horse, and then it should draw a crate or a box, something like that, at some point. Yep, here it is. So I'll just stop it here. Okay, so those are some benchmarks, and we can do some more, like WebGL Aquarium. So we just let it load, and once it's fully loaded, then 500 fishes, then we get almost 30 frames per second. Well, YouTube playback, yeah, I'm not really able to get any YouTube playback with hardware acceleration. So yeah, in my test, I'm just sticking with 480p. As you can see here, and then we'll just get the stats for nerds, and then we'll just let it play. So we have VP9, so even with 480p we do have the occasional frame drop. Okay, so because this RISC-V chip has the vector instructions 1.0, and with that we can build Llama.cpp. So just follow these instructions. This command might give an error. But you can get around that by using this parameter or this switch llama curl off. So you have to add that to that command, and then it should be possible to build a Llama.cpp. So I also ran a benchmark with the small language model, 1.7 billion parameters. And as you can see, it's not very fast. And let's just have the system monitor, because yeah, I didn't get a case with a fan or with a heatsink. So yeah, when I stress all the 8 CPU cores, then it can hit 95 degrees Celsius and then it will lock up. And yeah, so far I didn't see that it was thermal throttling, it just locked up. So yeah, if you do plan to stress the CPU, then do make sure you have a good cooling solution. Anyway, let's try Llama.cpp. And now we can ask a question. So, what is the highest mountain on Earth? So you can see that all 8 cores, they're getting some load. And yeah, when the CPU is like fully loaded, then you probably saw that it does have some hiccups here and there. So, but at least it is working. And again, do make sure you have a good cooling solution. And yeah, this is the model that I used. So if you go to the files and versions, then it was this one. So Docker is also available with this image. Your user is not automatically added to the Docker group. Well, you can start it with sudo, that's another option, or you can add yourself to the Docker group. So if we try docker hello world, and here we have hello from Docker. So that is also working. And this doesn't automatically mean that you can run just any Docker script, because not all the components that you're using, they're not all available for RISC-V at the moment. So you have to keep that in mind. But Docker itself is working on RISC-V. Now, Box64 is also available. So as a simple test, I have the game 2048. You can download it here. And as you can see, that is for x86 64-bit. So I already downloaded it. Or I didn't download it. Okay. But it's very small, so that should be no problem. Okay, so we need to make sure that it is executable, and you also need to have libfuse2 installed. So I already installed libfuse2, or perhaps it was already available. Either way, we can run it with Box64. And as you can see, it's working as expected. Well, one of the other things that we can test is local video playback. The VPU is able to decode probably H.264, H.265, VP9, but it's not really smooth, so probably they still need to optimize it a little bit. So here we have VP9, and this is 4K. And 60 frames per second. So I get the best media playback with MPV. I also tried VLC, but I wasn't able to get that working properly, so we'll just play it with MPV. So probably you can see that there's still some hiccups. Yes, a little bit of flickering in the screen sometimes. But most of the time it is playing this 4K video file as expected. So here is another example. So here we have H.264 high profile, almost 4K, and this time 24 frames per second.
Jerk, Tom. Look, Celia, we have to follow our passions. You have your robotics, and I just want to be awesome in space.
Why don't you just admit that you're freaked out by my robot hand?
I'm not freaked out by it. All right, fine. I'm freaked out. I'm having nightmares that I'm being chased by this giant.
So yeah, of course, 24 frames per second is not as demanding as 60 frames per second. And one other thing, so they do have this AI program. So, and you can change it to English, because I can't read Chinese. So this is computer vision. And when we run this, it will try to detect people. And it also has Ollama installed. So I downloaded Mistral. So what is the meaning of life? Let's try this one. Oh, this model requires more system memory than is available. That's a bit weird because, well, looks like that there's still some stuff that is occupying memory. So let's see if it wants to try it like this. Oh, that is a pity. Well, we can try it with a smaller model. So even though this is only a 1.5 billion parameter file, it's not as fast as I hoped it would be. So, well, you can see that it does work as long as you have enough memory. I haven't tried the real-time video processing, and I also haven't tried the speech recognition. But anyway, let's have one more try at Ollama. Let's see, Ollama run Mistral. Almost. There's still some stuff occupying some memory. And yeah, I had this working before. Then it wasn't a problem. So let's close this. Let's close this. And okay, that looks better. So this is, I think 7 billion parameter file. So that's a bit bigger. So loading the model takes a bit longer. But it should be able to handle it now. And I'm running from a micro SD card. And you might wonder why I'm not running from the eMMC. Well, if I mess things up, then it's much easier to recover from the micro SD card than the eMMC. Okay, so what is the highest mountain on Earth? So it looks like it's not even fully using all the CPU cores. So perhaps yeah, not really sure if all the cores have the vector instructions. So perhaps that is one of the reasons that it's not fully using all the CPU cores. And I'm really wondering why Llama does use all the CPU cores. But perhaps Llama yeah, will even use the CPU cores even when they don't have the vector instructions. So I'm hoping this is not taking too long, because otherwise we might end up with a crash or a freeze. Okay. Luckily we didn't hit 95 degrees Celsius. So, but if you want to play with the large language models, then yeah, do make sure you have proper cooling. Oops, sorry. Let's end this. And then really as a last thing, sometimes they say work hard and play hard. So you might want to play a little game with your RISC-V single board computer. So this is the battle for Wesnoth. So yeah, this is not the most complex graphical game, so or just let's see, just quit it. So yeah, these are the tests that I usually run with most of my single board computers. Although with let's just say the ARM single board computers, we can run some more complex games or graphically demanding games. But yeah, that is one of the problems, that we still don't have a proper GPU driver. And yeah, I will ask my contact person at SpacemiT yeah, if they have any developments around that GPU driver. So yeah, the SpacemiT K1 is not a new chip, and I already have 2 other single board computers with this chip, so this is all as I expected. And yeah, we do need better support, especially for the GPU. So this is all for now, and I hope to see you again in my next video.